Next intervention. Next paragraph, please. B. South Asia? Oh, East Asia and then Europe, please.
I'm still on the old para.
Relating to yesterday's also discussions of Southeast Asia, it says we propose this paragraph becomes women and gender experts must be included as full participants, because talking about being participants climate change, not only if we read from this only women and gender, so we include to be more inclusive. Women and gender experts must be included as full participants, etc.
Okay, Angela? And then you, yeah.
Sorry, I'm back to the previous paragraph. I'm just asking myself, what are we saying? Climate change and disasters. I mean, if we are not specifying what, if it just stays as disasters, if my husband dies, it might be a disaster to me, but not to somebody else. So what are we saying?
I know.
Huh?
I know. Disasters can be not climate-induced as well.
Yes, so I think
disasters can be not climate-induced as well. So then when we start having to say climate and climate-induced and disasters, and it gets a little tricky. What this was intended was to be the first statement of the whole declaration to outline this really broad concept that climate change and all that it encompasses is a development issue with impacts in gender, cross-cuts all sectors, from community to global levels. Kind of this real general statement that later on we unpack.
I mean, I would much prefer if we stick to what was there before, or we say climate change and its negative impacts. A disaster is a negative impact of the climate change. But these...
Okay. Pacific and then Ujing and then Luz. Did I miss out on somebody else? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. From South Asia. Before South Asia, then Pacific, sorry.
I propose that this point says that women and gender experts must be full participants in climate change and disaster risk reduction decision making. I propose we insert a post-disaster rehabilitation efforts where women are mostly exploited, raped, sold as sex workers. It has happened in many countries. So I believe the post-disaster scenario should also be included.
Can you tell us the language which you would like?
Yeah, just give me a minute, I'll draft.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Good. Yes, please, Pacific.
Thank you. Just, I would support the second suggestion from Mira. Here's second language on climate change and its negative impacts.
Must be understood.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, yes, somebody was calling my attention. We're jumping paragraphs. Okay, let's finish paragraph A. Okay? So after this, going, gone, carried. Next. Wujing, please. Paragraph 2, B. We're now on para B.
We get a text from South Asia there. Mic is not working.
I would like to raise this question. If we say women and gender experts, we have to be careful because some women are there because those seats are token. And sometimes women are outman men. So I don't know how to put it. If we just say women, if women do not have this kind of a gender awareness, is going to be a problem, is it? Or no?
It refers to the fact that women are still only 10% in the delegations, in the decisions, etc., regarding climate change. So whatever their voice is, we think that participation is needed.
On that same issue,
Yes, Luz, please.
on that same issue, we also discussed it, and we were not really content with the word gender experts, but thought that it's also a time to bring in men. So we were thinking gender-sensitive women and men must be in full participation.
Experts includes women and men, according to us, but If you want to be...
So women and men?
Maybe we could say something to the tune of what we're really looking for is women and men who are gender experts, right? Could we say gender experts, comma, both men and women? No?
Do they have to be gender experts? It's a question.
I know that is the question, right?
Huh? What?
Is any woman...
This group says not necessarily. What about the others? So you don't want the word gender experts there. So women and men. Okay, women and men.
Then we lose all the effort. No, then we lose the meaning of this how do you say it? This paragraph, because it talks about participation in decision making and the fact that we have just said that women are not adequately represented in these decisions.
Equal representation.
Okay, reaction here?
I'm also a little apprehensive because if we use both words, men and women, I'm afraid, at least in our country, all men will jump up, women will be left behind. Whereas our intention in the whole conference is to push the woman forward. I mean, give her whatever slot we get anywhere. That's the intention.
Okay, so what is the final wording that we want then, Angela?
Well, it's either we keep it as it was, or we say women and men must be equally participating.
Must
So
be,
that-
say that again, please.
Women and men must be equally participating, because that means we don't want to see any delegation that consists of men only.
Or that's where we were thinking of proposing some text as well. Perhaps women must be equal participants in climate change dialogue, etc. Just to shorten it a little bit. Women must be equal participants.
Meenakshi,
What do you
yes?
guys-
Yeah, but I think we should still have gender experts because women and men are fine and we all agree that they have to be there, but you need gender experts and that's a problem. And gender experts could be both men or women, so we all know that. So we shouldn't kind of in trying to be all encompassing, I think we should definitely take care that the interests that we are working for are not marginalized.
Can I reiterate what we meant? Because we're getting lost. Lucy, we're getting lost in
Yes.
what this group was looking at. What we were saying was that gender-sensitive women and men must have full participation. We are not removing, because we also said when we advocate for only women, it does not guarantee that the women who are brought into the process are also gender sensitive. And sometimes men can be more gender sensitive than the women. So what we want to assure is that those who are brought into the process are gender sensitive, both women and men.
I think these are two different elements.
Ideas, yeah.
We talk about participation
Yeah.
as a prerequisite, and we have all kind of language, official language that requires equal participation. And on the other hand, we want gender sensitivity. So if we would say women and men must be equally participating in climate change and disaster risk reduction decision processes at all these different levels. And we need gender experts, and gender sensitivity comes later because it is brought in later in the text.
So we park the idea of gender experts first and gender sensitivity. Please take note of that. So can we pass this paragraph?